All right, we move next, Clerk Treasurer Aldrich has one item to add to the agenda. Clerk Treasurer, you have the floor.
I'm going to explain to you that I made an error. Can you hear me good enough?
Yeah.
Through the Board of Works, 2 claims were paid, and they were paid out of Riverboat. And that is not correct. I did some research, and when I did research on Riverboat, Riverboat is set up different than Rainy Day. Rainy Day flat out states it requires a budget. And some of you that have been around know that when I first came here, we spent out of Rainy Day without having it budgeted. And once I found out about it, we stopped it, and Rainy Day's budgeted. The problem, when I went in and did my research for Riverboat, the section I was reading states simply that any legal and just claim presented to the city can be paid out of Riverboat. The problem is I stopped there. To me, Riverboat was not tax money, property tax money coming in. It wasn't Cadget, it wasn't Lowit, it wasn't designated revenue. It came in as surplus funds coming through the Riverboat and gambling. So, and what is it they tell you about when you assume it makes a, well, it did me. Because if you stop and think about it, common sense tells you the council is the physical body. The council has the responsibility for the finances of the city. So in order to spend out of Riverboat, you have to approve the appropriation to be spent. Doesn't mean you're doing an additional. Riverboat funds are set up so that you can use it for legitimate claims. But it means you as a council have to approve it. What I come to you now and tell you is 2 claims have been paid out this year. You started out with the $58,672 balance in Riverboat. Those 2 claims have been paid out, and you have a $38,223 balance in Riverboat. And you receive approximately $16,000 to $18,000 in funds coming into the Riverboat fund each year. But you have spent $20,448.98 in those 2 claims. So I ask you now to approve those 2 claims after the fact they have been done. But I will also tell you it is my error, and you do not have to do so. So it is up to you.
What did the $20,000 plus expenditures, what were the 2 expenditures that?
The 2 expenditures were for the downtown decorations, which was paid after the first of the year. And then it was for the fireworks that the chamber asked for the city to pay the amount for. And with the discount, they had said it would be $6,000, but it was actually $7,000. And then with the discount that the city received by paying for it early, we paid $5,950 for the fireworks. So those 2 claims together totaled the $20,448.
Do we have any discussion on this?
Well, I have no qualms about approving it for Leanne's sake because it wasn't, I mean, it would be difficult to know everything associated with, it really is taxpayer money that's in Riverboat. It's just not paid by the residents of Delphi, it's paid by people who choose to gamble. So it is revenue that comes in, but it's a taxable. Anyway, I extremely objected to $6,000 going to the Delphi Chamber for fireworks. That's beside the point now. They Sam said when he approved it, or when he said, let's give 6,000, he said, oh, it's not taxpayer money, but, that being said, that's my opinion, and so I guess I'm glad for the opportunity to express my opinion about that. I would move that we,
I'd like to say
Oh,
something
okay.
before you make that motion,
okay,
if I could.
sure.
As a former chamber president, I think I think we really let our private sector and our business community down by paying that $6,000 for those fireworks, and here's why. Every year, we go and canvass the community for donations for that. It's a pride thing. It brings the community together, and people are happy to be able to say, hey, I helped sponsor those fireworks. And we just took that away from them with taxpayer money, and I think it's a terrible precedent. You can say no all you want, Dick, but that's a terrible precedent, and you took the business community out of the equation, and I don't, that's not right. Those people love to do that.
First and second, they cannot solicit funds. The chamber cannot now because they're not an organization. They cannot solicit funds.
Then pass it off to somebody that is.
But they said that they did have the money already, that question was asked, but still the money was given.
Why are they functioning then? How can they function if they can't bring in money?
They can. They're trying to get organized so that they can, but right now they're not an organization, not recognized.
I would have rather seen them call the Lions Club or somebody like that and said, hey, can you take it over for a year or something, or can we do something with another nonprofit as opposed to taxpayer money? Because we could have, again, got the business community together and all of us worked together to do that.
Do we have any further discussion?
Thank you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Carol.
No, that's fine. Any discussion is fine. So I would move that we do whatever is necessary to get that appropriation established for the riverboat fund as per your recommendations.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any further discussion? Motion has been made and seconded to do whatever is necessary to make it appropriated or to approve the claims in the amount of $20,438. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our agenda items for tonight's meeting. We'll go ahead and do council comments. President Pro Tem Pearson.
Several people have approached me regarding the property on Main and Washington, that corner, sort of abandoned business property.
On the northeast side.
Right. That has plastic blowing out the window, and you know, we have supposedly improved our downtown, and then we have a site that is so unsightly that, I mean, I can't believe that we're allowing that to continue. It's unattractive, it doesn't seem safe, but, I mean, I don't know if birds can fly in there, but they practically could. And so, you know, some effort needs to be made by somebody to locate the owner of that property. If we have to offer some assistance or something, but it's just inexcusable.
Is it first floor, second floor, where?
It's on the second floor on the south side, furthest to the window, I believe.
A window has been broken, and so there's been plastic that was put over the window from the inside. But it's all shredded and blows out in the wind.
But also the face of it, just comes off with the water. Keeps coming, falling down.
Should be a safety thing. I think part of the line has fell off a couple times.
It's just school
South
school,
side.
something needs to be done.
The guy, he was offered to be in the Stellar, and he refused, he didn't want to do it.
Do you know why he refused?
Excuse me?
Do you know why he refused?
I just was told that.
He said God told him not to do it, is what he told us.
Who did?
God. So I don't know who this guy is, but he's been in the news a few times. He's a
I mean,
little.
that's a key building in town, that's the main.
Yeah, that's just what he told us.
I wasn't involved with it.
Yeah. I'll look into it.
You can get access, maybe Dale, and I can fix it, if you give him allows to get access, if he's like 50 minutes. Just for safety's sake,
Thank you. That would-
volunteers get.
I'd be delighted.
Sometimes it's easier just to fix it and just go through the legal ramifications of doing it, because it takes too long. But the problem is getting access and him allows to get in. So if you can work on that, maybe we can solve the problem.
I'll see if I can do it.
I would help you.
I would too.
Councilman Trigger?
Yeah, birds, man.
Yeah. Councilman Trigger, you have a comment?
No.
Councilman Stewart?
What's the status on the trash at the Del Maine that we talked about over the weekend?
I sent you that text, so I sent a letter originally on April 21st, giving them 7 days or a continuous abatement order would be issued. I issued that letter via certified mail today. Pursuant to our ordinance, you have to grant them 10 days before they can be ticketed. The property manager did text me today and sent me a screenshot where he had requested advanced disposal, come pick up the trash. I guess he had done it once or twice last week and then once again today. I was planning on going over there after this meeting to see. It was still over there, although some of it was bagged up, because I know there had been some on Market Street, and some had blown over to the property owners on the south side.
Drove by there, got coffee, and drove by there and seen that myself tonight. It was all pretty much piled in the area. But I would wonder, since I was going to ask about this, is there a base for X amount of people living in an apartment, how big a container do they have to have? Because that's what it looks like. He's got way more people than he's got trash space now.
I don't think it's a problem, it probably just hadn't been dumped for a while, because I have a building over there, and I cleaned.
Oh, they don't
over
clear
there. It just hadn't been dumped for a while, he's got a dump to be dumped for people.
Yeah, I thought it'd be done tomorrow. I thought tomorrow was Tuesday, but they're not part of us, are they? So they probably have their own independent, that's right.
That's paper long.
Okay. Yeah, it's a mess right now.
Yeah, well, I cleaned up all the way back, it's, you went half a block that way, that's been no liquor.
Yeah, I'm getting complaints from my constituents down there on Front Street. Also, were you notified about the house, the Replogle house at 215 North 5? Again?
Yeah, Councilman Shockley told me about it.
Okay.
I have talked to the property owner. I believe the complaint was the shed, which is in
Oh, yeah.
poor condition. I believe they still have power going to that shed, which is probably even worse. The property owner's concerned about asbestos siding as a possibility of that. I'll reach out to her again. I believe I have her phone number from when I dealt with them.
You can puff and blow that thing down, it's so ragged, it's terrible.
I do have a sledgehammer in my trunk.
You would need-
That has been addressed a couple of times in the period of time I've been here. I know Randy addressed it a couple of times because I believe Mr. Brown that's next door to him has complained about that. There was dead animals underneath it for a while. The smell was just horrid. So that is a continuing problem here.
I know we went out last year and removed a bunch of vines that have been growing up. Yeah, I'll reach out to the property owner tomorrow. Councilman Garrison?
I have nothing.
Councilman Shockley?
I have nothing.
All right. Clerk Treasurer?
I don't think you want any more.
Lock her in the room somewhere, all right?
Public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm wondering, when the community center concept started, it was, I remember hearing, the city will pay for the shell, which was what, $83,000 or something like that. And then we'll get donations and we'll have fundraisers to pay for everything else. And I'm wondering, I don't ever hear where those fundraisers are, but I do hear that it looks like the Deer Creek Township government will be approached to contribute tax dollars, which, you know, if you think about it, those in Delphi are in Deer Creek Township, and so they're paying So are there fundraisers? Maybe there are, and I just haven't heard that.
And where's the sign? I thought we were supposed to have a sign
Wait,
by the
back to the
property.
fundraisers.
Well,
I know, pardon me, Madam President.
I addressed that earlier. I said in the next couple months, we'll be organizing those. We've kicked around some thoughts. We have another meeting coming up, Monday. We have another meeting coming up Monday. Hopefully you've been advised of that. It's a public meeting.
Don't believe I have.
Okay, it's probably coming.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try and nail some of that down Monday and get some, we've already kicked around some ideas, so.
Okay, great. And will that meeting be where?
If you want it down here, we'll be down here.
I
If
would
you
like
want to
to.
attend,
I would like to.
we can do that, correct? We'll have it down here just
Wait
for
a
you.
minute, Monday.
Monday.
Next one.
5:30.
Oh. I cannot come, but maybe I can get somebody else. I have a county council meeting at 3.
I'll skip it.
Yeah, I know, I'd love to. And then that, Delphi School Board meeting at 7, which I haven't made in 2 months because the council continues to meet for 4 to 5 hours at a time. So.
Did you have something, Darrell?
Yeah, I hope my fire meeting doesn't interrupt with your public meeting if you're having it in here.
Well, if she's not gonna be here and requesting it to be down here, we can have it upstairs if nobody else.
Well, if it's at 5:30, I'm not gonna really be able to come, and Jane will come for me. And she says upstairs works for her because she's got good working hours.
Thank you.
Well, we have fire training that night, starts at 6:30, so
Okay.
there's gonna be traffic.
You usually don't run any more than an hour?
Like this time.
Okay.
Okay.
And as far as the sign, Jake is supposed to be giving me a picture, and as soon as he does, we'll kind of, I'm just waiting for some kind of image.
You're working on that?
We may not even get it rendering just because we can't somebody has to design the renderings for the sign. If we don't, we're just gonna go with common text. So,
The assistant over at Everything Computer does those kind of renderings. Pretty impressive. I don't know how much it costs.
Any further public comment? You can make our meeting last 4 or 5.
No, I don't want something else.
Yes, ma'am.
I need notes.
That's I would just, I know that at one meeting, we talked about the elevator, and then it was sort of bypassed saying, okay, let's renovate this when the fire department moves out, but, it just seems to me, once again, my opinion only, but that we could put in an elevator in the back here that would take us to the upstairs. I mean, you'd simply come out of that door, get into an elevator, take us upstairs. A whole lot less costly than we could renovate this humongous space as a council. I just would like input, discussion. It just seems like certainly maybe you can get some grant money for this renovation, but cost-wise, it's kind of a no-brainer. But we could still use that upstairs very efficiently by making an elevator.
So are you making a motion to get 3 quotes and start the procedure?
Let's wait till the fire department's.
We're working on that.
I know you're working on it, and, still, it's November. I mean, at least I would like to see some comparisons.
There's nothing wrong with getting quotes, is there?
I don't think
I
so.
thought we already had quotes.
Was it
We had
suggested?
quotes, but that was inside this wall, so that was on that side.
Where the kitchen,
Yeah, where the kitchen is.
is now.
It might change
And that
because
was like
Cheaper on
taking,
the outside, it's like $2,000 cheaper,
hopefully,
You know, like
176, I think, is what their quote was.
Oka still has ADA accessible grants available 2 rounds a year. So depending on the legislation, which we'll have to check on to see if that's still funded because it was a budget this year at the State House. So I anticipate Oka still having those 80/20 ADA accessible grants still
but
available.
that's what you said the last time, and nothing has happened. We hear nothing back from it, and so every month we continue to sit out here less comfortable.
If the city's willing to put forward 20% and make a motion and go forward, I see no reason to hold back. You're absolutely right. But until I get a forward direction on what the
Well, I
council.
think it's premature to say, yes, we're going to do that.
Why, I agree with that too.
Was it discussed at one point that council meetings would be held in the community?
I think that's how the discussion started for the community center.
Yes, that's
That's an
right.
option, yes.
I will reach out to KJG so we can get an estimate or quote for an elevator out here. I might just give one since that's all that would be necessary for a grant.
I'd like to see more than one. I'd like to see more than one. You need that in the motion?
No. Should we do
Yeah,
that?
but one would tell you if you think you might want to do it, then you get two and you say, yeah, we're gonna do it. Right?
I'd rather see at least two.
You're not gonna stand across the board, you're gonna be close.
Any further discussion, public comment? One last motion we made.
Good.
All those in favor?
Yeah,